My father started up the car that cold November day. He loaded up the family, and we were on our way. We were headed to my uncle's farm to spend Thanksgiving Day, where the grown-ups would visit and all the children would play. The drive was always pleasant. There was so much to see. My father always pointed out bits of history. He told us all the stories about the farms that we drove by. Having all that knowledge to him, it was a source of pride. When we arrived at my uncle's farm, we all helped unload the car. Our bodies were somewhat stiff and sore, not used to driving that far. When you visited my uncle's farm, it was like traveling back in time. The sights and smells of that place will linger in your mind. There were people scrambling everywhere trying to get things done. When my uncle grabbed me by the arm and said, "Please follow me, son." So I followed him outside. This man is 6'2". He turned around to look at me and said, "There's chores to do." So I gathered up the eggs the best that I knew how. Then I slaughtered the hogs and fed the sheep and even milked a cow. Then I took the basket of eggs inside the house to proclaim that I was done. My uncle looked at me and said, "Boy, you've just begun." He took me back outside and I did the rest of the chores, praying that when I walked inside that he would have no more. When I walked up to the farmhouse, he met me at the door. I asked him how I did. He said, "From a man I could ask no more." Then I walked into the dining room. The table was all set. The smell of country cooking I never will forget. Then I stood there by the old wood stove to warm my hands and feet. With food now on the table, everything was now complete. We all sat around the table and bowed our heads to pray. My uncle thanked the Lord for all the family gathered here today. We all ate dressing turkey potatoes until we could eat no more. The cat even had a good meal from the scraps he ate from the floor. With the meal all finally finished, I followed the men outside. They bragged about the cooking and gently rubbed their sides. With the day almost over and nighttime coming fast, I clung on to the moment and tried to make it last. Thanksgiving was almost over for another year. Would this happen again? Would everyone still be here? I guess I just don't know. I don't think ahead that far. My dad hollered at me and I jumped into the car. I left my uncle's farm that night knowing things were going to change. For no one lives forever and nothing stays the same.